Right guys, the clock is ticking. We are less than a month away from iPhone 15 if the rumors are true. Yes, get those credit cards ready because we have new shiny iPhones on the way, so let's delve into all the new tidbits. We begin with details regarding the A17 on iPhone 15 Pro. We've already known for a while it should be based on the brand spanking new 3nm process. And I know some of you guys might be asking, why should we care about this nanometer waffle? Well, that's because in the world of chips, going to a smaller process is actually better. Yes, smaller is better, people. So jumping from 5 to 3 nanometers should give us both performance and efficiency upgrades. And I'm most excited about the possible efficiency upgrades because everyone recently on the interwebs is going on and on and on about how the battery health on iPhone 14 Pro has been shockingly bad after a year of use, and everyone's planning to chuck their phones straight in the bin. So yes, we desperately need better battery life at this point. And by the way, would like to remind you guys, like this video and subscribe for more content like this. It would be appreciated. Now, we hadn't known much beyond that till now, of course, because as per usual in the world of leaks, every minute detail gets leaked, and Unknowns 12 has dropped all the juicy specs of the A17. So this chip should have 6 CPU cores that's going to be made up of 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores. Now, I know the spec nerds who want to flex their Geekbench numbers at the Android plebs are probably disappointed there are only 2 performance cores, but let's be honest guys, do we really need the additional performance to doom scroll slightly faster on Twitter? No, we don't. So yes, I think it's the right move. Apple's focusing on efficiency cores with the A17. But for those wanting some GPU grunt in the iPhone 15 Pro, I come bearing great news because it's going to have one more GPU core. Yes, one. Wow, what a game-changing upgrade. Jokes aside, guys, I'm happy, I guess, that we're getting a GPU upgrade. There were also rumors the A16 could have featured ray tracing, so I'm hoping Apple squeezes that into A17. But I'll be honest, guys, I am not a hardcore mobile gamer. I've never once played Genshin Impact. I don't even know how the game looks. The only game I play is Subway Surf, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy on the planet still playing that game in 2023. So yes, I care very little about the GPU upgrades. Now, these cores in A17 should be clocked at 3.7 GHz, which is just a pointless number without some sort of comparison. So in case you're wondering, A16 cores are clocked at 3.4 GHz. So yes, bigger numbers to get the nerds tingling. Nice. So those are a bunch of specs and jargon I just threw at you guys, but what does this actually mean for real life usage? Well, if I'm being honest, performance-wise, not really that much, because apparently it's only 10 to 15% faster, which in the grand scheme of things is barely anything. So yes, don't buy the 15 Pro thinking it's going to be radically faster than any other phone on the planet. That's not really the case. In fact, it's likely going to open most apps at the same time as other recent iPhones. However, don't sulk yet, guys, because what gets me very excited are the efficiency upgrades, as I had mentioned, and this is the one thing I care about when it comes to new chips because, let's be honest, iPhones have been fast since the A11, guys. I don't need performance upgrades, but battery life, yes, that is an aspect that should keep getting better. And that's exactly the case with A17 because we can expect a whopping 30% improvement in terms of efficiency, which is a crazy upgrade, guys. That alone could make the 15 Pro worth getting because while there's people out there celebrating slightly thinner bezels, who actually cares about that? I want a phone to comfortably get me through the day, and I think iPhone 15 Pro is going to be exactly that because of A17. Also remember, we have heard about thick, like really thick, like 5 Cs thick batteries coming to iPhone 15 Pro. Apparently the Pro Max could now be close to 5,000 mAh, and so combine the super efficient A17 with a massive battery and you have the power of the sun in the palm of your hand. Like, no joke, if the rumors do pan out, we could be seeing a phone that gets through 2 days of use for most consumers. So I'm suddenly ready to throw money at Timothy for this, But I do want to mention, guys, when rumors seem too good to be true, that's because they are, so don't get too excited by these rumors. Now that's not the only spec that leaked, we also have information regarding RAM on iPhone 15 Pro, and it's a pretty interesting situation, guys. Essentially, Unknowns21 initially told us there would be 6 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM. That's a lot of letters and sounds like gibberish, but basically in layman's terms, that means iPhone 15 Pro should be identical to the 14 Pro in this aspect. And weirdly enough, I saw people complaining about this and claiming, oh my god, I see Android phones with 16 gigs of RAM, when is Apple gonna catch up? They don't innovate anymore, boo-hoo. But here's the thing, guys, this is iOS. It's not Android that has no optimization whatsoever and needs ridiculous amounts of RAM to work properly, and so yes, I have a 14 Pro and not once have I had any RAM issues, so personally I'm fine with this, and honestly, apart from the nerds who are on their phones 24/7, most regular consumers are likely not having issues with this. 6 gigs is completely fine. However, there is a ray of hope for the ultra cheap out there because Unknowns21 then said Apple has been testing 8 gig variants of iPhone 15 Pro alongside these 6 gig variants, so I have a feeling Timothy has a tactic under his sleeves and is going to make 8 gigs only available on the high storage tiers, so that blind Apple sheep go get those and spend tons of cash even though they don't need the storage. And remember, Apple does do this with iPads, for example. You can only get 16 gigs on the 1TB and 2TB tier of iPad Pros, and so a lot of consumers splurged on those variants just to get the additional RAM when it's actually low-key pointless to have that much RAM on an iPad. But hey, you gotta flex, you have the best of the best iPads, and so I can totally see people buying the $2,000 2TB iPhone 15 Pro Max just to tell their one friend who probably doesn't care that it has 8 gigs. Yay! Now fortunately, as you probably expected, all of these exciting upgrades with A17 only applies to the iPhone 15 Pro. Like last year, of course, iPhone 15 and 15 Plus are going to continue using last year's SoC because when you're only spending $800 on a new phone, you clearly do not deserve to have the latest chip inside. You gotta spend $1,000 for that. Jokes aside, yes, I'm aware A17 is expensive, and most consumers likely aren't even aware what chip their phone has. And so yes, Apple's easily going to get away with this again, but it's low-key annoying. We used to get the latest SoC across the range, but because Timothy wants to upsell consumers and make more cash, the base models are not as great value as they used to be. And if you're hoping this would be wrong and Apple could surprise us with A17 in the base models, you can stop hoping for that because there is literal evidence in tvOS of all places that the base models are using A16. References have been found to iPhones codenamed iPhone 15,4, iPhone 15,5, iPhone 16,1, and iPhone 16,2. And well, in case you weren't aware, guys, phones starting with iPhone 15 have A16 chips, and phones starting with iPhone 16 have A17 chips. Yes, it's a little confusing, but hopefully that makes sense. Now, what's interesting is that there's also been references to new iPhones using the A15 chip. These are codenamed iPhone 14,1 and iPhone 14,9. And while this has confused everyone, no one really knows which iPhones these are, but the best theory I've seen is that these could be older iPhone models with USB-C. Because technically the European government does say that by 2024 all iPhones sold should have this port, and so that probably applies to older iPhones they will continue selling. So yes, I could see this happening. So an iPhone SE, an iPhone 13, and an iPhone 14 with a port upgrades would actually be pretty nice. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.